Alright, what's up? It's DQ or Dakota again. How y'all doing? Uh, my last video, I talked about race and things like that and just kind of drifted off into whatever I was thinking at the time. And this one, I kind of want to do the same, not necessarily having a topic, but just expressing what's on my mind. And the first thing that comes to mind is laziness. Now, me, personally, I can either be extremely hardworking or extremely lazy. There is an in between. I can do both, but it usually is one or the other. Now, laziness itself is an infection. Laziness is something I had to actually struggle to get out of and actually start working. And now I have a job. I like it, but I don't. I'm a dishwasher over in a restaurant, and it's fine in the morning type thing because there's not many dishes. It's slow. Everyone's just kind of getting the flow of things going again. But then whenever there's a bunch of families, like especially today, there was like, holy shit, there was so many dishes. And the thing that sucks is I have to operate it all on my own. I have to wash the dishes. I have to then put them away. I have to then take them to where they go. I have to then repeat that process. And usually doing like in the dishwasher, I can fit 2 bins or whatever, 2 full things of dishes in there, and then I can wash them. But I think that what I'm going to start doing is instead of doing that, whenever I get done with one, I'm going to toss it in. And if there's not that many, I'm just going to wash it. And if I also have like cups or something like that I need to throw in there, maybe even silverware, I need to get better at that. But I need to get better at keeping up with silverware, I should say. But if there's like silverware and shit like that, I'll just probably just toss it in with it, spray it off. But our dishwasher is kind of fucked, not gonna lie. For some reason, I'll spend like 10 minutes spraying off every single angle on these plates and cups and all that stuff. And then whenever I throw it back, and when I throw it in the dishwasher and then I try to take it out again, there's stuff on it. Magically. I don't understand. Then I'll have to take my gloves, rub the stuff off, try to get it where it looks clean. But today wasn't that fun, man. I felt like fucking shit halfway through it. The first, 3 hours were fun. But then the many plates off that. Laziness, I'm gonna come back to that. As I said, it's something that I struggle with, and it's something that my family does, and just in general. And I believe that it's also something that just people struggle with. You don't want to do anything, right? Doesn't just sitting in your bed watching your phone or whatever just sound so fun? Fucking not anymore. I've been doing that for way too long. And that's why I'm gonna start doing this shit. Because I feel like some people, whoever they might be, they might relate to me. They might, find me entertaining or something like that. I know a lot of my friends do. Especially whenever I'm off a monster. Ooh, I get hyper. That's whenever I'll just start fucking talking your ear off if I get to it. But I'm not off a monster right now. I'm just normal Coda. So we're just vibing. We're just chilling. But as I said, laziness is an infection. And I wish there was some fucking masterful way just to do a meditation or something, and then it's just gone. But as we know, that's not how the world works. Sucks, but that's reality. But I'm trying to make it my reality of where I don't get enthralled by the ideas of being lazy. Because I have a friend who I know is a good person, who I know who can also be a great person, but he's lazy, and it shows. You can tell by his weight. He doesn't really work out. He doesn't do anything to stop it. And I've even seen him tell his mom before that there's pee on the ground. And if I told my mom that, she'd be like, okay, clean it up. And that's exactly what his mom said. But his family's pretty toxic, not gonna lie. They can be pretty fun, but they can also be pretty toxic, as most households can be, especially in my area. But I seen him like just look at it and then not do anything about it. And I just sat there like, why aren't you fixing it? There's a problem. There's a solution to it. The solution is very visible. It doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist to figure out, hey, get a rag, clean it up, maybe even get some Lysol wipes, wipe it down once you get like the pee off the ground. Perfect. And it wasn't even like it wasn't even like a big puddle of piss either. It was from a little dog, like just a fresh newborn dog. And it was like, I think in total, there was like that much, and like barely even a fucking centimeter tall. But instead of knowing the solution, figuring it out, and executing it, what he decided to do was tell his mom to do it. But his mom told him to do it himself, and which he did. So at least good on him for that. And I know that laziness isn't exactly something that you can change overnight. It's something that has to be worked towards and worked upon to improve, as any skill is. But whenever I saw it, it made me really realize how lazy he is. And then I started envisioning him and what he could be like if he wasn't lazy. And see, he's very, very emotional. I'm not. I struggle with those, actually. I don't feel many, if that makes sense. The only thing that is really prevalent to me is anger and rage and things like that, as well as sadness. Because I dealt through depression. I still have fucking PTSD, but we don't need to worry about that. I struggled to get out of it, but I did. Currently, I don't feel sad. I don't feel depressed. I don't feel like my fucking life sucks or some shit like that. I feel like I've gotten to a better place. I feel like I've done the work to where I don't need to worry about my intrusive thoughts, because I struggle with those immensely. My intrusive thoughts they can actually be helpful sometimes. I have realized that whenever you think of the bad, it prepares you for it. It prepares you for for whenever the bad actually happens. Because I have realized through dealing with them, at least, my intrusive thoughts would come in. I would think of a situation of where I would either be killed or hurt, or my family would either be killed or hurt. And that to me drives me to let that not happen. There was one time I remember whenever my family went on a little vacation to Las Vegas. I remember there was like 2 or 3 guys riding on a motorcycle. Not all in one, there was like 3 separate motorcycles, but like they were driving fast, I couldn't see them. And this was whenever I really struggled. And my first thought whenever I saw them wasn't, oh hey, it's people riding motorcycles. I thought they were coming to shoot my family. And I almost had a breakdown because of it. But I managed to pull myself out of it. And whenever I told my parents, this was back whenever my parents really didn't understand me, because I wouldn't talk to them, because I just didn't feel like it. I hate talking. I hate talking about my feelings and shit like that, but I need to. And I've realized that, and I'm trying to work on it. That's why whenever I need to conform in somebody, whenever I need to reassure myself or something along those lines, I'll ask my mother. I'll have a talk with my mother, and I'll let her help me weigh the options on what I should do. as today, I wanted to quit because I felt like fucking shit during work. But I know that's not exactly a smart choice because I have no other source of income. But today, I think it really opened my eyes that the normal work that us as humans have started to like normalize and things like that, like working at a restaurant thing and stuff of that sort, I realized that it's not for me. I can't operate on somebody else's terms. I hate doing it because to me, I feel like if I give it enough thought, I can create the best idea. I feel like if I truly gave it thought and I truly sat down and really thought of every possible situation, looked at it from every single angle that I possibly can imagine, I feel like that I can come up with the best solution. And I don't know if that sounds bad or anything like that, but I trust myself. I know what I've been through, I know how deep my mind is, and I know how much I can actually think. Because not many people have the ability to really think for themselves anymore. And I've noticed it, and I despise it. Because there is so much out there. But just because society is like, no. If you want to say that you're nomadic, there's a rapper I listen to named Shaman. He is a nomad as well, as a shaman. But I've listened to his lyrics on how that he's touched 6 continents. He has been to 6 different continents, and he's found family, he's found friends. He was treated like a king in one of them. And I crave that adventure. I crave to get out of here. I crave to explore. And what I really want to explore is space. The stars, to me, I can't even tell you how passionate I am about learning about what is out there. But I'm not born at that time yet. I wasn't born in the time of space travel. At least commercial space travel. Sorry, this blanket or robe right here is so comfortable, but God, do I overheat sometimes. Anyway, I want to go out there and explore the stars, but I can't. And I wasn't also born early enough into human history to where I can explore the world and discover new things about the world. So that's out of the option. But one thing that I have realized a little bit on what I can explore is my mind. Human minds are infinitely vast. There is so much depth to it. There is so much that if you had the power, you can just reach in and then it will just keep going into the depths of your subconscious, into the depths of like the sleeping conscience. There's so many levels of our conscience. And we as humans have only, especially the majority of us, only have access to basically just our surface level. We don't have access to the infinite amount of information possible and information that could be stored inside of our minds because we don't have the brain power for it. But I've started to fix that. Right now, hold on, let me get it. Right now, I'm reading this. Magical Koala, The Beginner's Guide to It. I have found about this through my journey of learning how to meditate, learning how to actually get into my mind. And the Kabbalah, I do recommend if that you are into the things that I am, if you are into exploring and improving your mind, you definitely should read it. I'm only, I think I'm 115 pages into it right now. And already I have learned so much from it. And I just feel like that if humans were to instead not focus on personal gain, but were to focus on the collective gain as the human race, us as humans would fucking skyrocket. We would go so far. But again, if I say this, I'm also kind of being a hypocrite because personally, I have an immeasurable amount of greed. I want everything and more. I want to own everything I see. Anything that I could ever want, I want it to be mine. But I think the difference that me and some other people that might think this is that I've come to terms that doing that is not easy. It will take a massive, massive amount of work and effort to truly be able to own everything that I want. But that amount of work and effort, I feel like it gives me a purpose now. Because, so, in the future, whenever I get out of my parents' house, because I currently am 16, but whenever I start becoming an adult and start actually living for myself and having to worry about only myself, I feel like that's whenever I'll thrive. Because if I can just forget about everyone else, if I can forget about people at school, if I can forget about my parents, if I can forget about all of the restrictions that places on me, if once I become an adult and I am free to do whatever I want by society and by law, I feel like that is when something click in my mind, and that is when I will just start devouring everything I see and learning and experiencing as much as humanly possible to get just that little bit of an edge over people. Personally, I want to also do shaman's nomadic life. I want to touch all the continents. I want to go out there and I want to explore the world. I want to learn experiences that aren't possible by sitting here in Iowa. You want to know what we got here, bro? Fucking corn and beef. That's what we got. A shit ton of it, too. And don't get me wrong, our corn and beef is fucking good. But that's not enough for me. That is truly, truly not enough for me. I am not content of just sitting here being your average Joe. I don't want that. My life's goal is to become a multi-billionaire. $2 billion is the life goal. Over the course of the years, of all the things that I invest in, of all the things that I start to produce, I want $2 billion at least. In this $2 billion, if I exceed more, I have achieved more than my potential. And that's something that I will fucking love if I ever achieve it. Let me rephrase that. That's something that I'm going to love whenever I do achieve it. Shit, I kind of lost my train of thought. This video is going on for a while. So I think I'll see y'all later. DQ out, and make sure, just be kind to people. Always remember that. Be nice. When you have an option, I guess I'm starting back up on something. But if you have the option to be rude or be nice to somebody, and you choose to be rude, my question to you is why? Why do you feel the need to invade on another human's, life and things like that? How do I explain this? Why do you feel the need to harm others by your words? And words carry a lot of weight. Lots of it. You can hear like 3 or 4 words and your entire world could be shifted upside down. You could be told tomorrow your mother is dead. 4 words could completely and entirely shatter somebody's soul if they are not mentally strong enough. Or you could hear your whole family is dead. 5 words. And that, if you are not somebody who is blessed with mental fortitude, if you are not somebody who is blessed with stoicism and has really embraced the fact that even if something bad happens, I'm still here and I'll do something for them to make them proud of me and to make them happy that I am still here. If you are not like that, and you're just a normal person and you hear that your entire family is dead, that can fucking completely and utterly eviscerate every single thing that you thought about in this life. It could all be gone in a second just by those 5 words. Your family is dead. Sorry about that. That was low battery. 4 words. Your family is dead. Can shatter everything you know. And that truly means that words carry weight. So, if you don't want things like that to happen, because karma is real, I hope people realize that karma is fucking real. If you don't want that to happen to you, then why would you go around insulting somebody for doing their job? Especially Karens. Ooh, Karens, bro. How that they'll get so pissed off over the slightest little inconvenience in a work store. Do you know, like truly, to deal with people in a work store? Because I used to work at Firehouse Subs. I had to deal with people. As an introvert, I despise people. I don't like to talk that much. Well, I like to talk whenever it's on my terms. I don't like to just, hi, how can I help you? What would you like today? That shit doesn't fly with me. I don't like it. That's why I quit Firehouse. And now I'm at this job that still is not for me. Because I guess I'm too complex of a human to sit and dwindle in society's little box for us. Well, I should say the government's box. Because government and society, I'm starting to think that they're the fucking same thing. The government controls our society. And I want to be free from the grasp of a power that I can't do anything about. And that is another reason why I want to get so fucking rich. To be able to say, no. 1, whatever you're doing right here is wrong, and I have the power and the money to change it. Because that's also something that this world needs to learn, is that this world just doesn't operate on ideas anymore, or literature, or things like that. This world operates on money. If you want to change anything in this world, you need money. You need power, you need influence, but most importantly, you need money. Because if you have money, you can have all of those. You can have power, you can have influence if you have the amount of money required. And that's another reason why I want to drive myself to get as much money as humanly possible. I have created business ideas. I have created business plans that I'm going to execute in the future. But I still need time to develop all my skills. And I think now that I'm starting to do this, I think that I'm really gonna start developing those. I even started a little journal type thing. It's not really a journal. It's more of just whatever ideas come to my mind and I feel like I need to write them down, I'll write them down. Because they will also, instead of just words, there'll be lessons I teach myself. There'll be times where I feel like some other voice in my head takes over and writes something for me. There is some old god in my head who teaches me about what to do. And he calls me little one. Whenever I'm writing this, I'm not conscience. Me who's talking right now is not conscience. It is not there. It's one of the voices who talk. and then who then tells me to write. And I'll also notice that sometimes my handwriting will change. I have dyslexia, and words can confuse me, and I'll even spell them wrong, or I just won't see letters or things like that. But my handwriting, if people ever notice, is ever changing. It will not stay the same. It has the same fundamentals, but the way that I write will never stay the same. I'll never write my name the exact same way. It'll always be, even if it's just so slight that you won't even notice it, there was always going to be a little difference because my brain just keeps improving. It keeps building. I take an idea, I look at it, I view it from all angles, and I see, does it need to be expanded upon? And if it does, I will. Instead of being, a square, it'll then turn into a cube. And then if I feel like this idea is not enough, I'll take that cube and then I'll turn it into a hypercube or a 40 cube. And then if that's not enough, expand it more. If that's not enough, expand it more. If that's not enough, expand it more. That's how my mind works until that I can think of every single possibility that I can possibly think of. And if I have a solution or counter for it, and if everything works, and then the idea is finished. So then that idea can be acted upon. I was rambling. I probably should have made this 2 videos, but I think that's going to be enough for me. I'll catch y'all later. DQ out. And remember, again, be nice to fucking people. People deserve it. Even if you don't think so, people deserve it. And you don't understand how much impact being nice to somebody who's had a bad day can truly have. Remember that, boys. I'll catch y'all later.